Hello, amazing humans. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kimberly Jo Height, and I am your favorite empowerist. Today, I want to talk about salt. I already did a video on the benefits of using salt energetically and the different types of salts and all the things. So that's not what this video is about, but I will link that video here at the end. So what I want to talk about is how using askfirmations gave me a simple solution to a question that I asked that I really wasn't attached to. And so I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. So if you are attached to how something has to show up or you have an expectation, and I did talk a little bit about expectations yesterday, and I already shared that video. So when we want a solution to a specific, I'll call it a problem or a situation, or we want what we, want, our desires, that sort of thing. When we can let it go and not really be attached to it. So there's a lot of confusion about how to like just let something go or not be attached to how it turns out or attached to how it has to show up. So that's probably another deeper dive into like learning to surrender and detachment. But what I want to talk about today is just kind of giving you a tip of the iceberg, I guess, kind of solution or answer to that question. And so I'll back up a little bit. So I was talking about salt, right? And I shared with you guys how when I take a shower, so you can either go to the ocean, obviously, if you live close to the ocean, and go use the salt water that's within the ocean or in the Gulf. I talked a lot about the Gulf. I love the Gulf. And then I also talked about how you could soak in the bathtub. And I talked about how you could use like Epsom salts, essential oils, that sort of thing. So, and then I've also shared with you guys about, cutting your cords and when you do energy work, working with your chakras, or you're placing up a shield or using a bubble, and all the benefits of why I take a salt shower and why you would maybe want to also add it to your daily routine. So I kept thinking about, I shared with you guys how I have this little plastic cup. Used to be an esthetician and I used to use it to whip up my, facial scrubs and all the different things. So I have this little cup. I would put salt in it. I had a little bag under my sink, and then I would fill my little cup, and then I would take it in the shower, and I didn't want it to get wet because it dissolves. And I explained how I would just get my fingertips wet and pat it and then put it on my body and to avoid the sensitive spots. And so one day I was like, as I was doing that, I was like, there has to be a more simple way to take a salt shower. And it wasn't something that I was totally attached to. Like, it wasn't something that I was so like, oh my gosh, I have to find a solution for this. So it's one of those where I just kind of ask a question like, how could I take a salt shower and it be more simple? So that was basically like my ask formation. And each time I would take a salt shower, I would have that question. I'm like, there has to be a more simple solution to this because it's a whole process of getting the salt out from underneath the sink, putting it in the little cup, and then tying the little bag and putting it away. And then when I was done, I'd have to take the cup out. And so all the things. And again, it wasn't anything that was like a super big deal, but it was like, I just felt like there was a more simple solution. So fast forward, and I would say that was probably for about a week time frame where I was like, there has to be a more simple solution. And so I was sitting outside and I wasn't even thinking about salt showers, you guys. So it literally was, I'm going to call it random, but I don't believe in anything being random or coincidence. I believe in synchronicities. And I'm sitting outside enjoying, we had some sunny weather that day, and I was just sitting outside enjoying the birds chirping at me and all the things. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's it. Oh my gosh, that's so simple. Why didn't I think of it sooner? I was like mind blown. I was like, literally, I've been taking salt showers for years. And I'm going to say probably, I don't know, the last 15 years, maybe longer. It doesn't really matter. So I was like, so for 15 years, I've been doing the little cup thing or, whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, this solution is just so simple. Like the simplicity of it was, yeah, maybe I should have thought of this sooner. So I'm going to share with you today what I did. So my son was taking a trip and we were in the travel section, and I had bought, and I didn't grab the other one, but I had bought this really big spray bottle. Now, at the time, I'm like, why am I buying such a big spray bottle? Because when I was shopping with him, the reason I was looking at them because they were like 97 cents. And I was like, I need a spray bottle. I wanted to make a facial mist for myself, and I also wanted a bottle for my watercolors because you wet the to activate the watercolors. So I was like, why did I buy such a big one? Because this was like it didn't make any sense in the moment, but I just put it in my cart. And so I was like, okay. So then when I got home, I just put it on the shelf. Well, then sitting outside, I was like, oh, that's why I bought the bigger spray bottle. So here's what I did. I, and again, this isn't rocket science, and I didn't, maybe somebody else has already talked about this, and I'm not the first person to ever come up with this idea, but I've never seen anybody talking about it or to suggest doing it this way. So, like, I was super excited, and I'm still super excited. So, I didn't like go Google anything. And I thought, well, I just want salt water. And I know that when I'm at the golf, like, you get it in, I mean, you can taste the salt immediately. And so I was like, well, what measurements do I want to use? So, I the bottle said it was 8 ounces on the bottom, and I didn't know that at the time. I didn't realize there was a sticker, and there's still part of a sticker on here. Sorry, scrolled. I never trust, well, I don't want to say I don't never trust, but a lot of times it'll say like it's an 8 ounce bottle, but that doesn't mean it holds 8 ounces of fluid. I don't know if you've ever caught that, but just a side note. So anyway, I got really hot water in a measuring cup, and or actually, what I didn't get the measuring cup yet. What I did is I turned the water on really, really hot, and then I filled it to this spot right here on the water bottle. And then I poured that hot water into a measuring cup to see how much it actually was. And it was about 3/4 of a cup. So then I'm like, okay, well, I was out of the sea salt that I normally use. And so I had some dead sea salt. And it tends to be a little bit like grainier, more coarse. And I usually generally just used it for like foot scrubs. And so I wasn't sure about the dissolvability of it. And again, I'm not scientific here. So if someone knows more about Dead Sea salt than I do and how it dissolves, more power to you. That wasn't the important factor for me. I just needed to know that it would dissolve somewhat. And I do know from using it that it does dissolve, but I still have pieces left over. So I wasn't really sure how much to use, but I thought, well, I'll use equal parts water to equal parts salt. And again, you can use Himalayan, sea salt, Dead Sea salt, Epsom salts, table salt, whatever salt you have, kosher salt. It doesn't really matter the salt. They do all have different benefits per se, but for salt showers, I'm not concerned about the specific salt that you're using. I will say that I use sea salt more often than not, just because of the benefits I know from living, by the Gulf. So I used equal parts of the Dead Sea salt and water. And then what I did was I added the salt to the measuring cup, and I just stirred it continuously. And again, I didn't boil it or anything like that. I just totally hot water, the salt, and I just stirred it so that it would dissolve. And then of course, I'm so silly. I'm like, I tasted it. I don't know why. I just did. I was like, let's see how salty it is. So I stuck my finger in it and I licked it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really salty. Perfect. So again, I don't know the exact measurements. It doesn't really matter. That brings up my other point. So I was talking about askfirmations and keeping this, if you have a problem or a question, to keep it simple and to let it go and not be attached. So I didn't worry about the measurements of it because my intention is that I now have a simplified solution to taking a salt shower every single day. And all I have to do is I can keep adding more water to this because it's already salty, or I can keep making a mixture. It doesn't really matter. The important thing is the intention, because salt and the ions in it, and again, this is not a very long scientific drawn out explanation. I've already covered that. And also, I'm not the scientific person, but it attracts or it grabs and gets rid of the negative, or what I call the cleansed energy, and it takes it away and out of your aura and out of your chakras and out of your energy field. And I believe everything is energy. So that's why I take salt showers. And the other thing too is when you're taking a salt shower, you also are having the effects of the water. Water is a cleansing effect in and of itself. So, just another side note. So now I'm super excited because I have a simple solution. I can just throw this in my shower. I don't have to worry about it dissolving the salt and me not getting to use it because it's just in a bottle. And the other great thing is I don't know about you guys, and I don't know too many people that can do this, but you can't reach like your whole back. Like I can reach parts of it, but I can't get that center section. So now with this spray bottle, I can literally just spray the center of my back. And it's all about your intention. You're intending that your salt is going to grab anything that you've cleared out, any negative energy that is around you or in your energetic field, and it's going to wash down the drain and turn into white light, and that's it. So again, I am super excited about this. I know it seems kind of really silly, but I was really mind blown by the simplicity of, I just kept asking, there has to be a more simple way to do this. And then the idea came to me to do this. So again, I may not be the first person who has ever come up with this ingenious idea, but to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so amazing. I'm such a genius. And so now I can take salt showers and it's simplified and it's easy. So again, just to kind of wrap this all up, go ahead and make yourself a bottle of salt water and take it to your shower and just keep it in there and use it daily. It really does make a difference to grab the negativity or the lower vibrational things that are within your aura and your energetic body. And again, it's a simple thing that you can do. It doesn't take any time at all. And the other part is that I had a simple askfirmation. How can this be more simple? Taking a salt shower. And then within a week, and it may not even been a full week, and I wasn't consciously focused on it every single day. How can this be more simple? And then that light bulb or that synchronicity or the random thought, and again, I don't believe in random or can be, coincidence or whatever, but again, I was doing something that had nothing to do with taking a salt shower, but the solution came to me and I was like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. So now I'm sharing it with you. So again, I always say take what resonates and then leave the rest. If this resonated with you and you're excited about having a super simple, easy way to take a salt shower so that you can cleanse yourself energetically every single day, I would love to hear about it in the comments. And again, I hope that this resonates with you, and I'm looking forward to hearing any comments of, yes, I made myself a salt water spray bottle and I'm using it daily. So with that being said, I am sending you all lots of love, light, and really big hugs, and go be an amazing human. Mwah. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. If you're loving these videos, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and click the little bell for notifications so that when new videos come out, you're sure to know. I really appreciate you guys, and it helps out my channel. Thanks. Have a great day.